Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Keith here from Commando Hoops Celtic. If this is your first time coming across the channel, if you could press that subscribe button below, thumbs up, comment below would be really appreciated. So I'm here to talk about two players today and about the game later on up in Ross County in Dingwall. So let's kick it off. League of Ireland star, 18-year-old John Kenny has been linked to Celtic. Now he plays for Sligo Rovers, 18 years of age. He's played for Ireland under 18s and under 21 level. He scored 11 goals in the League of Ireland last season, 2 assists, and played 32 games as well, which is not bad going for a player like himself. He can play on the left wing, and mostly he plays up front. He's just below 5'7", good attributes. From people I know in Sligo have said great things about him, that he's going to be a superstar. Ourselves and Hibs are looking at him at the moment. Hibs, he was at Easter Road last night for the Dundee game as well. Scott Brown was there, pictured as well. Regards to Hibs, we have a cup final against them the weekend, so we're obviously going to be resting a couple of players tonight, thinking about the club final. Ange hasn't dismissed it yet, but we do need to make a couple of changes for tonight. So let's get this guy over the line. Reportedly the fee that we're looking to buy him for is under 500,000. Now, a friend of mine that does Irish Football Fan TV spoke really highly of him, Paul Neenan. So if you give him a like, a subscribe, the link is below as well. Irish Football Fan TV, up to latest with the boys in green and the League of Ireland. Another guy that's been linked to us for nearly 4.5 months now is a guy called Fernando Henrique Pereira. He's a 20-year-old Brazilian that plays for Grêmio. Now, Grêmio were relegated from the top flight of Brazil. He's only played 6 times for them in the senior team. He's a defensive midfielder. I can't see this happening, to be honest with you. Like, there's been a lot of talk of this. There's reports in Brazil that they're willing to offload him for whatever it takes so they can actually deal with their financial stats after being relegated. This guy's represent Brazil up to 21 levels. I don't know if we could see this guy even being a tall ship to Glasgow. Too much paperwork. Very similar to what happened in Japan. It takes forever to get these players over the line. I've talked about this guy before. He's 6'3", defensive midfielder, likes to ping a shot, but he's we do need cover in the defensive midfield department, no question about it. We have McCarthy, Sorrow, Beaton, and Callum McGregor. McCarthy's been alright. Sorrow's been very hot and cold. He just loses the ball too easy, gives away stupid fouls. McCarthy's pace, fitness is still not up to full scratch, even though we signed him back in September. Still question marks there. So I don't know if it is going to happen with Fernando Henrique Pereira. I can't see it happen, to be honest with you. There's no movement on the Japan side as well. I touched on it yesterday that Rio Hate, Fontale and Celtic are close to a deal. There's been nothing about Itaguchi since the weekend. Days Almeida has gone quiet as well. The whole deal there for Yokohama Marino. So hopefully get this lad over the line. The only thing I could say about Itaguchi is Kagawa has come out and spoke highly of this guy, saying that it'd be steal for Celtic if Celtic get him. Look, he was a top player in Japan back in 2017. Leeds snapped him up. He's a box-to-box midfielder, has a decent shot on him as well. So didn't really work out well for him in his spells at England. Didn't really feature for Leeds at all. The senior team went on loan in Spain and went on loan to the Bundesliga as well. So see what happens. Regards to tonight, big game tonight. We can't afford to cough up before a cup final. We're a 8:15 kick-off. It's on Ross County TV. Sky Sports have decided to show the Rangers game at St Johnstone instead, even though we have a big game. You know, we're chasing the leaders, as you could say. There's only 4 points in it at the moment. If we were to drop points tonight and Rangers win, they go 7, and then they have a game the weekend. It could be 10, and that'd be a lot to come back from. But I'm optimistic. We're going to go there tonight. We're going to beat Ross County. Last time we played Ross County in the league, we won 3-0 back in the end of September. So I'm optimistic that we can get a result against Ross County. The last time we actually played them away in Dingwall was back in February this year. A game that we want to forget about. It was Neil Lennon's last game as Celtic manager at the course of the season. What happens? We missed sitter upon sitter that night in Dingwall, but we have fresh players now in. Unfortunately, Kyogo is the day-to-day assessment. He won't be playing tonight. James Forrest is out. Mikey Johnson is a doubt, as Ange said yesterday. So my starting lineup will be Hart in goal, Jovanovic right back, even though Ralston's fit. Jovanovic right back. Left back would be Taylor, even though I'd rather some other players. Taylor left back. I'd say he's going to go with Carter Vickers and Welch. Rest Starfelt for the weekend. Defensive midfield would have to be go for Near Tom Rogic, Callum McGregor. I'd rest Turnbull, to be honest. Right wing would have to be Liel Abada. Left wing would probably be Montgomery or Scales. I know it sounds like a shocking one. And then up front, we could go with Turnbull. Even though I said we could rest him, it could be Turnbull. It's very similar to the weekend. You probably make a couple of changes there. We could see Owen Moffat feature if he's in the squad. Owen Moffat could play up front, but I think it's more likely you're going to go with Turnbull up front because Mikey Johnson picked up a knock and he's last minute. There's not much core on the bench. Ralston could play right back. Udagidi could play right back and push up Jovanovic as a right winger and play Abada on the left or play Abada up front. It's hard to say, it's hard to say how this team is going to line up tonight because the lack of striking options, but there's goals from that Celtic team. Turnbull can hit them, Rogic can hit them. You've seen how well Rogic is playing in recent times, so hopefully I'm going to fancy a 2-0 win tonight. I just think it's going to be scrappy. We're going to get stuck in, very physical game. They'll be looking to get one of our players sent off, lose a temperament, but like the likes of Kyogo won't be there, Jota's still out, Giacomakis is still out, Yeti's still out, Julien's still out, you know. This stretcher list just gets worse and worse, so the only positive side is that we have Starfelt on the bench that could come on if he doesn't start, you know. I'd like to see Liam Scales get a bit of time tonight. I think there's a goal in there for him tonight. I just have that feeling it's a Liam Scales goal in there and it's going to be a Liel Abada goal. So I'm going to go with 2-0 Celtic. As I said, massive game the weekend. Regards to Hibs, Shaun Maloney looks like he's the front runner for the Hibs job. Scott Brown was pictured at Easter Row last night, but he has plans with Aberdeen. You know, he's in the coaching capacity with Stephen Glass at Aberdeen, so can't see Bruni taking it. So I wish Shaun Maloney the very best. He's obviously worked under Martinez in the Belgium side, which were ranked first in the world. So he's a lot to learn. He's a lot to learn, you know, especially taking a manager's job on his own. So fingers crossed. I thought he was going to come back to Celtic one day, so let's see. So subscribe, speak to us all soon. 2-0 Celtic tonight, and I'll speak to us all soon.